I don't know. I got up, did the gym workout in my living room. Yay! But we had yoga mats today, so that helped. And then there was something else. It's nice having 2 sets of 10s. So there's that. Okay. We are doing Hidden Power of the Bible. So let's do the housekeeping. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact, email, info@creativelife.org. Each one email a week tells you what's going on for the week and the month, and the hot links are hot. So click here now means it. There's also a blind CC, which means nobody will see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. Now, I also want to mention the social media, but merely from the standpoint of we do not monetize it. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So we ask you to go like, subscribe, follow based on which platform you're on, and then engage with the individual post by reacting, commenting, and sharing. It bumps us in the algorithms and more people see our stuff, which is the whole goal of social media. So, we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, and I'm the running Rev Ryan across all of the social medias that I am on. So, there we are. And we are currently, I merely like to point out, it's not a big book, right? The Bible is a library of books, but this is not a very big book. So he's pretty targeted on what he thinks is the most relevant. And so far, we have spent most of the book in the teachings of Jesus, which makes sense. So, yeah, there is that. So, today's article is a formula for effective prayer. So I'm going to reread Matthew 21. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Verily I say unto you, if ye have faith and doubt not, ye shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree, but also if ye say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done. And all things whatsoever you shall ask in prayer, believing you shall receive. Okay, so that is the part that he pulled out of Matthew 21. And so now, and this is where Science of Mind came from. You know, Ernest kind of noticed that there was this really specific way that Jesus prayed, and he's like, let's teach everybody this, and then they can take it back to their faith traditions. But the problem is people came and stayed and did not go home, and hence Science of Mind exists. Because trust me, Ernest did not want this. He is not an organizer. So fortunately, he had a couple of people that were. All right, so a formula for effective prayer. Here is a formula for true and effective prayer. Things we need, we are to ask for, and we are to believe that we receive them. This plumbs the very depths of the metaphysical and psychological law of our being and explains the possibility of an answer to our prayers. When we pray, we are to believe that we have, which is why we pray in the present tense. When we do spiritual mind treatment, we pray in the present tense, as if we already have it. We are surrounded by a universal law, which is creative. It moves from the thought to the thing. Unless there is first an image, it cannot move, for there would be nothing for it to move towards. Prayer, which is a mental act, must accept its own answer as an image in mind before the divine energies can play upon it and make it productive. So you'll hear Ernest say that a lot. Prayer is a mental act. Prayer is about coming into alignment with. Prayer does not move God. Prayer moves the prayer. It is a mental act. It's as we must plant a seed before we can reap a harvest, so we must believe before our prayers can be answered. Prayer should reach a point of acceptance, an unqualified and undisputed place of agreement. Let us take the mental image of our desires to the bosom of the creative life, and here make them known by impressing them upon it in positive belief. If we do this, our prayers will be answered. But let us remember that true prayer is always universal. Okay? True prayer is always universal. What does that mean? What you want for yourself, you gotta want for absolutely everybody else. Nobody gets left out. There can be no good to us alone, but only as that good is for all. Like I said, what you want for yourself, you gotta want for everybody. This does not mean that we are to refrain from asking for what we wish, but that we should wish only for that which is good. For instance, it is good to have a home. It is good for all people to have homes. While here on earth, it is right to ask for one, but it should not be right to ask for one belonging to another. That's where we talk about don't get too specific. Like if you want a car, don't give it a VIN number. You know, if you want a house, don't ask for an address. And if you want a spouse, don't give it a name. Because, you know, they may belong to other people. And, you know, that's that whole free will thing. So, you know, what are the qualities that you want? Line those out. And if you have a place in mind, think about those qualities. But don't say only that address. For two reasons. One, it might belong to somebody else and they're not ready to give it up. And two, you cut off all the other ways that Spirit can bring you what you ask for. So, you know, specify, but not specific. So, if we wish to pray for a home, we should take the idea of a home with us into the silence and meditate on its actual being. We should believe that we have and own a home, but we should leave the idea free to fulfill itself without any definite choosing of how, where, or why. In this way, we pray aright, and when we so pray, we pray effectively, okay? So that's, yeah. It's like the idea of, but don't get too specific. Don't cut off all the amazing ways the Spirit can answer you by getting too specific. God wills us to have everything. As we express life, we fulfill God's law of abundance, but we do this only as we realize that there is good enough to go around. And that's the other thing, is realizing that there's enough to go around. Because a lot of people, you know, are running on the idea that there's only so much and I've got to get mine. And if you get yours, then I don't get mine, you know? And that's not the case, you know? Like, one of my favorite sayings is love is not like pie. You know, there's only 8 slices. Love is like pi, as in the Greek letter, which is infinite and irrational. So, yes, infinite and irrational. It's a math joke, but that's what we're talking about. Is like when you pray for good, Spirit has innumerable ways of bringing you your good. But when you narrow down, you know, like to a specific VIN number or specific address or a specific name, then you are limiting Spirit. Spirit is not limiting Spirit. You are limiting Spirit. So try not to do that. All right. Okay. So that is what is going on for today. We will pick up tomorrow with Matthew? Well, at least I didn't say Malachi. Matthew 22. Yeah. So, should be interesting. All right, beloveds. I'm going to wrap this up, especially since the hum has begun, and encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take care of yourself day, a be aware of the heat day, a drink plenty of water day, a stay out of the sunlight between 1 and 7 day. We hit our peak at 3 p.m. today, apparently. When I got in my car yesterday, it said it was 104. Yeah. So be aware of the heat today. Make sure you make time to sit down and rest while you are taking care of business day. A do what you got to do day. A hump day. Yeah, it's a bit they do on the 9 o'clock hour on the news show that we have on in the mornings to catch the weather. So here we are. Have a good laugh day, a you got this day, a good day, and if that is too much pressure, because occasionally it is, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, an absolutely beautiful masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. And, as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are godly. So, explore the truth of your being, get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. Anything at all is possible. All right, beloveds. Yeah. Okay. Let me just wrap this up. Reverend David will be on sometime this afternoon. I will be back with you tomorrow morning in that 9:15 hour. It is Wednesday. You might get a meditation from Danielle, depending on what craziness her schedule is looking like. So be on the lookout for that. And if not, I have all of her midweek meditations archived on the YouTube channel, the Creative Life YouTube channel. Just go to the look for the playlist and then pull up the midweek meditations. Those are all of the meditations that she has done. So, all right, beloveds, I'm going to move on to the process of my day. So, have a great day. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.